Welcome to the TK Show with the Athletic Bay Area's Editor-in-Chief, Tim Kawakami.
All right, everybody, it's Tim Kawakami here, TK Show, recording from Kawakami Studios, which has now become one of the most prolific podcast centers of the hubs of the world. Just great to have as my guest, one of my favorite people in the world. I think one of the favorite people for Bay Area sports fans. The one and only Roger Craig, 49ers immortal running back. Just all-around great guy. Roger, how you doing today? Just great to have you on the show.
I'm doing great, and thank you for the introduction, man, because, I have a lot of respect for you too, Tim. You're the man.
I appreciate it.
You are the man.
That's great. Roger and I, we have some lunches together. We just talk.
Way back.
Yeah, we could just talk. You don't probably remember the Pro Bowl when I was covering the Eagles, like in the late 80s. I was out there, you were there, and we were rode that bus out to practice a couple times together, and you could not have been nicer. You could not have been more gracious. And I'm sure that's not a surprising thing for people to hear.
Well, I'm from the Midwest, so the Midwest values they stay with me. I don't care if I move to Mars, I'm still going to take that same Midwest value with me. We're kind to people, we help people, we do everything. And I'm gracious to all of our fans over the years, like Niner Empire. Those guys are amazing. And, so I go to all those events, and I just get a joy just to show them how much I appreciate them and how they support us over the years. And it's just amazing. Our fans are amazing.
Yeah. Well, I just want to talk about, obviously, there's a couple of weeks ago, the greats and many members of the 49er dynasty went to Montana. You were one of them to visit Dwight Clark. And Sports Illustrated, Chris Ballard did a wonderful story on it, but I wanted to talk to you about it. You were there. What was that like? What were those days like visiting Dwight in Montana?
Well, I was we're really excited to take the time to do that, because we all have busy schedules, and I was really impressed with everyone making the time for our brother Dwight. And it was happy and it was sad. We cried, we laughed, we did it all. But the one thing that we wanted to see out of this whole trip by coming there was seeing Dwight smile. Yeah. Just knowing that we have his back. And Mr. DeBartolo is an amazing man. He's done so many wonderful things for all of us. And he's like an angel, man. He's our angel, man. And I just love Mr. D. He built a great culture with the 49ers, and our culture is showing that we're for real. We're the only franchise on this planet that is for real. Mm-hmm. That Mr. D's in our lives, and we make things happen for our teammates and people who work for our company for the 49ers. Sure. Mr. D helped not just athletes, but he helped personnel people, everybody, man. So he's the type of guy that will have your back if you work for him and basically you're part of our culture. You're part of the dynasty. You're part of everything. So he's there for us, and he made that happen for us to see Dwight. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, obviously Dwight, suffering from ALS, announced it on the DeBartolo Foundation website a few.
Yeah, well, I remember when he told me this about a year and a half ago. He told me he had it, man. I cried like a baby, man. I broke down on the phone when he was telling me, man. I couldn't. It just hit me hard, man. And then, I just said, I got your back. I'm gonna be there for you, Dwight. You don't have to worry about that. And I did a little run, a couple runs. I did the Rock and Roll Marathon, and I had everyone donate $87. Oh yeah. For Dwight, and we raised over $87,000. That was our goal.
That's fantastic.
And we were able to do that. And then we also did something. The Golden Heart Fund run, it was about 2 months after we did that for Dwight for my platform. And, Ronnie Lott asked me to be a part of that and run Ferrari. And so I told him I'd be happy to host this race. And we had over 4,000 or 5,000, fans come out to support it, and we had a corporate relay challenge. It was awesome. So we raised a lot of money for that, you know, and a lot of that money goes to all the retired guys who basically are in dire straits of need of help. Finances and things like that. So Mr. Barlow created that, and he got Jed York involved in it, and it's just been a great thing for us that we come together as one, you know, and he still does it, man. That's what I love about Mr. D. You know, he's a special human being, man. I love him to death.
Yeah, I know Dwight's obviously having some issues, terrible disease. What was he like? What was his mood like during these days you guys?
Well, you know, Dwight was so happy, you know, to see us. Now, he was tired sometimes. You can see that he was fatigued, but he was fighting it, man. You know, he kept fighting it. And every time he felt like he dozed off, go sleep, he'll just, you know, wake up and start smiling.
That's great.
You know, he just fought through it, man, because, you know, so many guys just wanted to spend time with him. And it's hard when you have that kind of disease, you know, it fatigues you. And I just, we can see it. We can see it in his eyes, you know. And you know, but you know, the one thing I said, man, the smile. That's all I care about. That we made him smile. And that's what life's all about, you know. And know that we got his back. Know that we're there for him. You know, that will give him an extra motivation to keep fighting. You know, it's all about the fight, you know.
You know, you when you were drafted by the 49ers in 1983, Dwight was a young veteran. Obviously, he had the catch, and he and Joe. What was your relationship like with Dwight when you?
Dwight helped me out so much. You know, I mean, I didn't know how to catch football. I went to Nebraska. We were just I ran the ball. I probably caught 5 passes, and those like screen passes, like little, like 5-yard passes. You know, just a pitch more so. You know, I didn't run routes. Dwight helped me learn how to run routes, how to catch the ball, how to turn my hands around. You know, certain ways of catching the ball. You know, he always was there for me. And if I had a problem, I would go to him. And he would always help me solve whatever problems I'm having, and he's like a big brother to me, and that's why I'm so grateful for him, and that's why I'm there for him, for him today. You know, so
well, he must have taught you pretty well with all the passes you caught in that system.
I know, but he was so awesome, man. I'm telling you, man. I remember rookie day, man. He was just so helpful. You know, he just. You know, I was like, wow, man, this is cool. This is a cool team, you know, because, you know, he's so humble. You know, Dwight is the most humblest guy on the planet. You know, that Southern mentality is all in him, man, you know, and it's so cool. And he's a favorite with the fans. The fans love him. You know, I've done events with Dwight, you know, personal appearances with Dwight, you know, I've done so many different ones, and just fun doing it with him because we have a good time, you know. We just have a good time.
You know, I know the Barlow, Mr. Eddie's brought you guys together at other different events, but just the sense to me.
You know what? Not just he's been doing this for the last 35 years. Not just recently. You know, Eddie's been in our lives for the last 35 years. You know, that's the kind of man he is. I don't know if you remember his speech in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, sure.
So all the owners. Pay attention to your former players. Get into their lives. That made me cry. I cried like a baby because I know that what he was talking about, and he's in our lives. And I teared up at the Hall of Fame when he said that. You know, when he was on stage. You know. So I mean. I just tell you, man, he's a great guy, man.
What was he like when you were playing for him? I mean, did you know this relationship was going to be 30, 40, 50 years when you were playing for him?
I knew he was special when he came over to me one time when I was a rookie, and I had my wife, you know, and my daughter. We were eating dinner, and he came over. I was at the restaurant. I didn't realize, you know, he went to the same restaurant I went to, and I didn't even know he was going to be there. And he came over to me, and he was really nice to me. He said, we're happy to have you on our team. And this is early on in my first rookie career, you know, and he just been a genuine guy. He told me, just, work hard, stay motivated, and just, and have fun, when you're out there. He kind of motivated me, So it's kind of cool, man, he's had so much success over the years, and he's continuing to have success because, he's such a great guy. He gives so much to people and to organizations. He's just going to keep getting blessed more and more and more.
Yep.
And when you do good things, that's what happens. I can tell you, so many people he's taking care of, man, is crazy.
Yep.
But that's him. That's his heart. He has a big heart, man. Not too many people have that kind of heart.
Yep.
They're selfish,
yep.
and he's not selfish.
Well, he's talked about this too, just kind of seeing all these guys, but also, yeah, you talk about it. There's players who have been sick, who've gotten sick, and who have passed away. Members of the dynasty. Do you look around and just kind of understand the toll it took maybe on a lot of you guys to
Oh,
work?
yeah, it's really tough when you see players that you played with, and like Freddie Solomon, like Fred Quillen, guys like that, man. I mean, these guys, I played with them. They're like my my big brothers,
Yep.
And man, it's so sad to see them, die at a young age. It's like, man, it's scary.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break for a word from our friends at Hims, a new wellness brand for men. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? I know some of you Warriors fans have used that line when talking about a certain Eastern Conference rival, but it's not funny when it starts happening to you. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Do you want your hairline to recede, or do you want to do something about it? Luckily, we've got a solution for you. forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss and more for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. No weird snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. These prescription solutions are backed by science. Save hours by going to forhims.com. It's so easy. Answer a few quick questions, a doctor will review and prescribe you products, and they are shipped directly to your door. Now is your chance to order. TK's listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds of dollars if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. So go to forhims.com/TK. That's forhims.com/TK. forhims.com/TK. Now, back to the TK show.
There's different eras within the era, right? Of older players, like, Dwight and Joe were the first, and then you came in, and then there's Jerry. How do the different, kind of periods of the dynasty get together? You kind of, is it a natural, you guys all understand each other through the different years?
Well, it's a culture that we built, and Bill Walsh created it, by bringing all these great leaders in, like Carmen Policy, all the guys, it's just more of understanding, what our mission is, and that's why we have so much success. And a lot of teams are emulating us, especially the Patriots.
Yep.
They're emulators, and they probably taking it to the next level, and because then they have a lot of success. I mean, you got to give them the credit. You've been to 8 Super Bowls, and that's a lot of Super Bowls, for Tom Brady.
Yes,
think about it, and he won 5 of those Super Bowls, and so, but they kind of emulate us. And our West Coast offense is all through the league now. Everyone runs the West Coast offense. As a running back, you have to be able to catch the ball coming out of the backfield. Having these kind of quarterbacks like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Matty Ryan, all the man, Peyton Manning's brother. I mean, all these guys. They run our system.
Yep, absolutely.
And so, and that's the cool thing about about what we brought to the table, building our dynasty, and now teams are emulating our dynasty, but they don't have Eddie Barlow.
Yeah.
So there's only one Eddie Barlow. I'm sorry. There's no other owner going to be like him. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I think he's proven it.
He's in a class of his own.
Yeah.
He's in a class of his own. He's standing on Mars looking down at all the other owners, wishing they were up there. Okay,
Yep.
That's how I feel about my man.
Yep.
He's amazing.
Hey, you mentioned a lot of the teams playing that way. Have you looked at the current 49ers? And I
like the moves that they're making. I like the moves that they're making. Jimmy G, you know, he's a leader. He played for Belichick, and Tom Brady was a guy that he mentored him, and he learned a lot from Tom Brady. He has 2 rings, so he knows what it takes to take the team to the next level. He has to be the leader, and I've heard that he's the leader in the locker room, which I like that.
Yep.
I like that. You know, he has to be the CEO of that team. He has to be able to do that. He has to be able to capture their attention the way he plays the game, so they will play harder, just like we did for Joe, Steve, you know, and you know, guys like that.
Sure.
You know, and so it, you know, if people buy in, hey, they got a good thing going. And Lynch won the Super Bowl. He won one down in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And then, you know, Shanahan, his father won 3, so he can bounce off stuff off his father, you know, if he need advice. So we're in a good position. You know, the main thing now is, you know, just, you know, everyone, you know, buying into the system and bringing something to the table. Just like we had to figure out how to, you know, how we fit in.
Yep.
I had to come in. I couldn't come in selfish. When I played in the 80s, there was running backs that was running the ball 30, 35 times a game. Earl Campbell, Eric Dickerson, all these guys, they run the ball 35 times a game. You know, I had to be happy to get the ball 15 to 20 times a game. But I had to catch at least 8 to 10 passes, you know, on top of that. Yep. So I'd rather take my route and win championships and build a culture that is still going today in the millennium. I mean, I'll take that any day. Yep. So, you know, I don't care about being selfish. I have to take a hit for Jerry Rice and John Taylor and Dwight Clark and Freddie Solomon faking the ball, you know, thinking so the defense will collapse thinking I have the ball, and then they get open and score a touchdown. You know, if I didn't sell the fake, I feel like I didn't do my job. Yep. And I feel, and I would be so afraid to go to our meetings the next day because if it was if it was a crappy fake, people going to look at it. You know, the coach is going to say that wasn't a good fake. You know, so play action faking was huge. That was a big part of my whole system when I played for the 49ers in the West Coast offense. That was a big part of our plays of having success on the field. I had to sell that fake, man. Joe Montana was excellent of hiding the ball. You know, it was awesome. But we took pride in that. We practiced every day after practice. You know, working on that fake, making sure we can sell it so the defense would think I would have the ball and I would get my helmet knocked off, and those other guys would get the glory. You know, but hey. We got 6 points. That's all I cared about.
Yep. You know, Kyle Shanahan's a big play action guy. Absolutely, that's what they do. I don't know, Jarrett McKinnon. I didn't know much about when they signed him as a free agent, but the way they describe him is, you know, he's going to catch the ball. He's going to line up as a receiver. He's going to run it a few times. He's going to play like tight. That sounds like Roger Craig to me. It's like I
know. It's good. I'm happy that they find a back that's going to, you know, buy into, you know, being an all-purpose running back for our system, because Jimmy G, you know, he has to have that kind of the back to help him, you know, with the passing game. Because a lot of times the running backs, you know, they have to sell the fake and go out for a pass and catch a ball here and there, and so you know, but by getting that little young man, he's going to help open up our offense. It's going to be wide open, man. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
I think that 5-0 run at the end, I think it's got a lot of people really fascinated with how this is going to go.
Well, I'm just happy for our fans. You know, they finally get a chance to see we got life. You know, Jimmy G has brought life to our fans. You know, and you know what Kyle and Shanahan have done for our team to win those 5 games. You know, that was pretty awesome.
Yep.
You know, to make that switch and Jimmy G did what he had to do, and now everybody's excited. You know, it's like, oh wow, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be a great year, man. Yeah. I'm looking forward to these guys doing a really good job this year. And
you know what I'm looking forward to is finally people understanding what your career meant and that it should be in the Hall of Fame. I'll say I've said it before. The thousandth first person ever to do that. Hasn't been done much since then. Maybe one time by Marshall Faulk. I think people will understand that the Hall of Fame eligibility for the first run has expired, but the seniors committee I think is going to be very, very interested in your career, Roger.
Well, I appreciate that, man. But it's for me, I'm a team guy. That's why I sacrificed and did a lot of different things for the West Coast offense. Like I was telling you earlier, selling the fake and catching balls out of the backfield and blocking, doing all the things. The one thing that I like the most is when you have that kind of mentality, you're going to win championships. You're going to have success. And so all I care about is, did we make the playoffs or did we win the Super Bowl? That's all what matters to me. All the individual stuff, that's cool and dandy. It's nice that I was the first player to rush for 1,000 yards, receive for 1,000 yards the same season. And then, people don't even realize when Bill Walsh moved me back to halfback, I did over 2,000 yards again. Yep. I had 1,500 yards rushing and 600 receiving. And so I was really the only back to run to have in two different positions. I was a fullback when I did the 1,000. Yep. Then they moved me to halfback. I did over 2,000 again the first year. We won the Super Bowl that first year, And so but the one thing that I cherish the most out of everything I did throughout my career as a professional athlete was be able to create the one-day contract. The one-day contract, I called Mr. DeBartolo and Carmen Policy, and I told them that I want to create something, that I want to retire back with the 49ers, not retire as a Viking, because basically, a lot of guys, when they retire, they end up the last team, and you're like retiring with them. I'm not. No, my memories are with the 49ers. Things I've done. So we created this thing where you sign a one-day contract and then you'll be on the team for the 1 year. Yep. It's really cool. And so what's cool about this one-day contract is it transcends to all sports, not just football, hockey, baseball, basketball. They all do it. They all use it. It's really cool.
So get the trademark for that, Roger. The Roger Craig one-day contract.
I know, man. I feel you, man. Who's the guy who created the three-peat? See, I said three-peat, but someone took it and ran with it.
Pat Riley took it from you.
Riley did it, yes. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Oh, my God. So maybe I should trademark that.
You know what? Jump right in there. Well, I'll just say that I would love to see somehow, some way, maybe Frank Gore and Roger Craig going in the Hall of Fame. I think a lot of people would feel a lot better about things. You two guys, I think, it meant so much to this team. Talk about a guy, who sacrificed things.
Absolutely. I mentor Frank Gore, while he was here. I talked to him a lot. I was in his ear a lot, man. And he's done a really great job and been able to, to stay healthy, most of his career, and he's doing some really wonderful things. I think he signed back with Miami or something.
I think so. I think that's right. Yeah, I lost it.
Yeah, so he can retire in his home state. Which is kind of cool. Yeah. That he go back home, but I know 49ers would be his home always. But it's good that he can play in front of his family, because that's how I felt when I went to the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. I could have stayed with the Raiders, but when Dennis Green left and called me, I thought about my family, about my all the people in the Midwest that get a chance to see me 9 or 10 times, in one season. That's pretty cool. Yep. And it's kind of tough when you're out here, flying back and forth from the Midwest. That's pretty expensive, Right. So, but being in Minnesota, that was kind of cool that I was able to retire, in front of them, which is kind of cool.
And then the one day, and you know what? Maybe Frank Gore will sign the one-day contract with the 49ers at the end. I think he probably will. The Roger Craig trademark one-day contract.
He will.
Yeah.
I'll make sure of that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Hey, Roger, I know you're a big vice president at Tibco Software in the tech world. Just wonder, you've been doing this for a while. How's that been?
Oh man, I've been doing it for like 19 years.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool, man. So what we're doing now is the big thing is analytics, and we have 4 different platforms. We have Spotfire, we have this Alpine, we have Statistica, we have Streambase. These all grabs that, and analytics is big. Everybody. I was just talking about with John Gruden. I read something in the paper in the San Jose Mercury. He was talking about analytics, big data, and we worked with the Raiders before. So they know what we can bring to the table. And I joke with John. I said, John, we worked with you guys. Just give us a call. We'll come and we'll show you our platform. He cracked up laughing. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's big right now. We have this cloud. The cloud is everything right now. So we have these products that we can interconnect in the cloud, which is amazing. Amazon's one of our big customers as well. And FedEx uses. So we're making a lot of noise right now. And our marketing team is making it happen. And thank God, we have Thomas Ben. Because he's taking our marketing to another level. And we acquired Marketo, which is a digital marketing platform, that people use, on the internet, and so, Vista Equity has done a great job. They acquired us about 4 years ago for $4.3 billion. And so they create plays for us, these plays like all the different companies like Marketo, like, Streambase, like, Statistica, all these companies. Infoblox is another one that's cybersecurity that they basically can protect your websites.
Mm-hmm.
We have a company that does that for us. So it's really cool, man. It's like having the West Coast offense. All these different plays. All these different players making it happen. Like the Joe Montana, the Jerry Rice, the Dwight Clark, the Ronnie Lott. So we got this playbook around us, man, and it's bringing us success as a team.
That sounds fantastic.
And we're loving it. And our CEO Murray Rose, he's been here longer than anyone. So he's been through the whole system, as far as being a CIO, the CFO and all that. Now he's a CEO now, but he kept our core together. The core is what's important, and your culture stays strong when you have that core. Just like the 49ers, they created a new core with Lynch and with Shanahan. That's a new core. So they got to build on that core and have people buy in. And that's how we are here in this company. We have that same mentality. We buy into Murray because Murray is a great leader, and I love him to death. That's the reason why I stayed.
That's fantastic. Hey, I could talk to you forever, but I do really want to ask you.
When you talk about culture and things like that, I can just go on and on.
You go.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No. I'm smiling through the whole thing. You know how when I talk to you, I just smile the whole time. It's tremendous.
I know, man. You're the man, man.
Hey, Roger.
I love you, man. You got it, man. I love you, bro.
Okay, Roger Craig. What's your favorite restaurant? This one I want to hear.
3 Seasons.
Okay.
3 Seasons. Yeah. It's in Palo Alto.
Mm-hmm. What kind of food is that?
It's Asian. It's Asian food. It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I love Asian food. I love Asian food.
It's the best, man. It's off the charts, man.
Well, all right. Listen, we got
3 Seasons in Palo Alto. 3 Seasons, not the hotel, but the restaurant. Mark Zuckerberg goes to that. Okay. I mean, all those guys, and Steve Young, they all go to this restaurant. It's pretty impressive.
Fantastic. Hey, we got to go there for lunch. Jeez, come on now.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Roger, I really appreciate it. My producer Ben Cruz can tell right now I'm smiling the whole time. This is just a great conversation.
Thanks, man.
And let's talk again real soon.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, during the season. Let's do this. Let's do it again, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it.
All right, Roger. We will do that.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much, everybody. That's Roger Craig. Thank you, everybody.